Hello, we are in the city of Polonnaruwa, the ancient city of Polonnaruwa, and then we are heading towards Pothgul Vihara, which is an ancient temple complex. So we are just continuing our walk toward the complex, and let's see what we can find over there. Okay, there's a bit of instructions or information over here. Okay, Pothgul Vihara complex. So we are over here and heading over there. What you're looking at is an ancient statue of a person called Pulasti Rishi, who is said to be one of the masterminds of this area, as I know. Then there's another belief. It could be the statue of the king Parakramabahu, but as of now these two beliefs exist. As you can see, he's holding some sort of a thing on his hand, so most people say this is a ancient scripture which is written out of palm leaf, but still again the verification has not been done whether this is the statue of Pulasti Rishi or whether it is the statue of the king Parakramabahu. So if you look from behind over here is the Parakrama Samudra, which is one of the biggest reservoirs in Sri Lanka. We are walking towards this temple complex, which is called Pothgul Vihara. So if I try to define what Pothgul means, it sounds a bit like a library. I believe it is something to do with ancient library or something related to that. But let's go in and see, because they might have information on what it is exactly. And then there's something to note here. You are not supposed to walk on these walls, because these are old, as you can see, and it's at least 2 feet plus wide each wall, and goes on straight till over there, and then goes onwards like this, and then over here it's the ancient building itself, I believe. I think back in the days they might have had buildings going on all corners. Yeah, and as you can see, look at the thickness of this wall, or maybe this is a seating area. We do not know the exact information, but due to this COVID situation, we only saw less than 10 people in this area. And then this is how it looks like, the surrounding area. And then you can see that there are so many trees surrounding this building. Back in the days when these buildings were functioning and when monks were staying in these buildings, these must have been amazing sights, looking even considering the size of these buildings. So let's try to get an idea on what it says. So we are now over here. So there are a few buildings. There's the circular shrine, the associate stupa, resident unit, gatehouse. Okay, I think C are the resident units. Gatehouse is the D item. Let's see. Okay, this is D. That is where we came through, over there. And then we have B. These are supportive stupas, where A is going to be the circular building, which is this one over here. As you can see, the colors are looking pretty good. Let's take a full 360-degree view of this temple complex. So these are all those supportive buildings where the monks used to stay and then overlooking over there is the supportive stupas, where this building over here is said to be the main monument, and then on to this side is the other supportive stupa, followed by the monks' residences. So let's take a walk through to this building. And let's see what we can find. Yeah, this is the main building. And these are the supportive stupas. Once again, these buildings are at least 1500 years old. I have to verify that just to be sure. Yeah. This is how it looks like. And you can see that all these are made with bricks of all sorts. And today, so today is this is 2021 January. All these stand still even today as well. And also these stone pillars seems to have been the concept of doing these constructions rather than using concrete like today. This area is full of massive trees. As you can see, these trees are huge. And then this is the main event. Maybe let's try to take the wide angle view. There was a peacock walking around somewhere here, and some dogs, as you might have seen. We are taking a walk inside this main building over here. Let's see how it looks like on the inside. So they have placed these supportive steel pieces in here, and then this is the main passage followed by the entrance. It's a granite door. They must have had a proper door back in the days. And then this is how it looks like in the inside. I can feel that my voice is echoing inside. When I move towards this wall, I can see the voice is echoing from all four corners. You might be able to get an idea on that in the microphone as well. But even without the roof over here, I can feel that there's some echoing effects in place. And then these are the actual walls that used to be there when they constructed these buildings. And these buildings comes a bit like angled towards the top. So back in the days, they must have had a proper roof over it, which is also made out of clay or these bricks. Yeah, I think these are a bit recent restoration attempts, I'm guessing. Yeah, so this is how it looks like when you look out from the inside. What you're looking at is a residential unit of this temple complex. As you can see, this is the main entrance, and you also have this nice little welcome part as well. And then I'm assuming this might have been where the monks used to sit and meditate. So you have two of these, and then let's take a bit of a walk inside to see how it looks like. Yeah, so these are slightly about 6 feet or 5 feet half tall, about 2 meters. And then I don't think these are 10-12 feet wide in one direction, so it's about 3 meters wide, I believe, on each side. And the building looks a bit squarish as well, so they might have had places to sleep and things like that. And then over here there's some sort of another structure, but there's no description over there. That is how it looks like. And then this is the other side of this building complex. And then over there in the distance there's another structure that looks like an entry or an exit. Let me try to zoom in a bit. I'm talking about that building over there. So that is the details about this Pothgul Vihara temple complex in Polonnaruwa. So even though these buildings are built a few thousand years ago, 1000+ years ago, what I'm trying to see is how accurate the lining of this building is. From over here I can't see much of a deviation, and it goes straight ahead towards that direction. And then even though the bricks are so old, they have not aged that much. As you can see, they look a bit well burnt. And then properly, yeah, this looks proper. And then onto this direction you can see again the measurements are pretty accurate, and they go in almost straight. I think these are straight, not almost. Let's try this side. As you can see, so if I place the camera over here, you can see, even though I'm shooting on the wide angle lens, okay, let's switch on to the normal lens. You can see, yeah, they come in almost straight. Because usually what happens is, if you have seen your buildings when they age maybe 30, 40, 50 years, and when you have trees growing around those buildings, you tend to get deviations in the buildings, because the roots will go over and above, and then all the building structure will change. But these have not changed, even though these are so old. And then moving on to this direction is either the entrance or the exit of this place. As you can see, this structure is about 6 feet tall. So back in the days, the people might have been similarly tall like today. And then these buildings, even till date, is still existing. I'm not sure whether there has been a roof over those buildings, or this is just the boundary wall, but this is how it looks like. And then onto this side is the boundary wall, or that structure. And then over here you have the granite work, followed by some termites nest. And then over in this side is the road, and some rocks and pieces and like that. This is how it looks from the other side of the building. And over here it says gate. Now we are at this reservoir called Pothgul. So we were just over there next to the entrance of the Pothgul Vihara. I'll put the location in the description below. So over in the distance, so we have two reservoirs over here. Over in the distance is a reservoir called Parakramabahu, which is one of the largest reservoirs in Sri Lanka. And what you are seeing over here is another reservoir. So there are like two reservoirs, one on the other side and one over here. This one is called Pothgul. And then, as you can see, these wires that you are seeing over here is to not let the elephants either come in or come out of this area, because this area is frequented by elephants quite often. So we can't even go closer because of these electrical fences. You will get electrocuted. And then this road, it just goes straight. If you go straight, it goes towards the city of Polonnaruwa. nearer to the clock tower of the Polonnaruwa town, and then onto this side is the Pothgul Vihara temple complex, which is right over here. We are at the entrance of this Pothgul Vihara complex, but you can see all these little huts used to be the huts where people used to sell sweets, drinks, souvenirs and all sort of things, but today these are all closed because situation is that you only get about 10-15 people a day